The nature of life is to sustain life. So none of us are born to destroy things. This destructive mind, people say this, no, the child is very destructive. This is absolutely wrong. That either you have made the child like that by constantly irritating the child. See, a simple no will irritate the child. So see, I contrast every time whenever we see these things with the life of a child in a village, a life of a child in an urban. When I say village, it is again the older villages where non-literacy was very prominent, where people trusted life more, and there was never a question of teaching a child, and they never said no, child never asked permission. So there was a different context altogether. So in a system like this, we are experiencing an existential freedom. Freedom that is not given by the adult. In the modern context, we assume that freedom is something that we give. Freedom is existentially we are free. So what you can provide is a system where that freedom is not taken out. There is no question of you giving freedom. That's a modern misconception actually. Freedom, you're free actually, like everything is free. It's only in freedom a biological system can flower. Or you can throttle it by cutting it down, clipping it down, forming, that you can do. By manipulating it, that is what we are doing to children. So a child is never destructive. So you can see that everything is trying to sustain life, by, you can start with the, just looking at a mango tree, the flowering, the amount of flower that happens. And then finally what fruits is less, But even then, even that is enough for another maybe 200-300 mango tree, But again, few sprouts. But it is right from the beginning, it is ensuring that that it has to, sustain life. Yeah? So that you can see everywhere. A concrete building, somewhere, a tree will come out of that. You don't do anything there, the tree is coming out. So wherever there is possible, life is sprouting out. This is true for human life also. Till we are alienated from this fact, which is again, it's not a fact in an intellectual term, fact to the body, to the whole system. So what is happening is that the mind without the body is trying to understand life. It's not possible actually. The whole knowledge system, the whole modernity, this is what is happening. Now we are celebrating the digital, and as if digital is what we need to learn. This is where the problem arises. That it's a means to understand something else. But this something else is, if it is not given to the child right from the beginning, the child will learn what you give them. So when you give them the word, the child will learn the word and formats its brain to understand the word, not its interpretation. Because the brain is forming that time depending upon what it is engaging with. So when you give a digital tool to a child, the child will develop its cognitive system or the brain's architecture to understand what it is experiencing. You see? So there will be a rewiring of the way the eye will function, because it's constantly observing one thing. So naturally the focal length will reduce, the peripheral vision will go, memory system will change. So actually in the context of natural learning, the processing of knowledge is different, memory system is different, all this is different, but unfortunately there is no study on this. Because see, we have assumed that the literate mind is superior mind. So we study everything to do with this superior mind. And even when we study non-literate people, it is with the assumption that they are inferior. So how can this be science then? It has to be absolutely a neutral way, that you look at various possibilities, various things as it is, Don't put your mind coming there and then,